Time.
No.
Time for more. What a turd bird. He's feisty today, y'all. It's time for more Z-Car progress. We finally got insurance through on this thing, so that's probably why you're feisty, is because you get to drive your car today, or what?
See if I can blow something up.
She needs spark plugs, an oil change, check fluids, and then we're gonna go drive her. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm setting up lights and getting all the tripod set up so I can be hands-free, and Aaron couldn't stop working. He started pulling the spark plugs out. And tell us what you just found, sir.
Well, this spark plug wire was totally loose. I went to loosen the spark plug. It was also loose, and it's cracked all the way down it. Got to thinking, what in the world's going on? Then I remembered our old buddy Josh, Vague Industries, came by in his little Toyota, and he borrowed spark plug wires and plugs. But that was like 2 years ago, so I forgot. So when it was running the other day, that hesitation we had was, this was not even bolted in. It had like 2 threads in it. So
lovely.
Should run better now.
Yeah, new spark plugs, actually having the plug wire plugged in, that's gonna make all the difference. Okay, little shop dog is taking his nap. Aaron has one side of the engine done, spark plug wise, and I'm going to pull the oil drain plug to get the junk oil out so we can put fresh in. Straight into the drain pan, said no one ever. Wow. Not a drop on the floor. What's going on here? Doing good work up there, Aaron.
Thank you.
I see a zip tie end here. I can't reach it, but it's beautiful. It's got all the oil out. Okay, now it's oil filter time, and I will for sure make a mess.
All right, got it.
Nicely done.
Those back 3 were a bit of a challenge. The engineers in Japan definitely do not count on a V8 being on this car. Otherwise, they would have given me more room. All right, let's put some oil in this thing.
First, we need an oil filter.
Got one.
Thank you. We're going to fill our oil filter up with some fresh oil. On this oil change, we're using Kindle Motor Oil's GT1 Max in a 1530 weight. Delicious oil for a precious engine that we love and adore. Let's install it. Alrighty. Why don't we give this lovely lady some oil? I'm going to finish off the quart from filling up the oil filter. We love working with Kindle Motor Oil. We recently had a really fun time at the Dallas Mecum auction because, oh, that's what I get for trying to be cool. Because Kindle Motor Oil is a sponsor with Mecum, they are auctioning off this pretty incredible custom Mustang, this 67 fastback Mustang. And all of the proceeds, 100% of the sale of that car goes to curing kids' cancer. And so it was a really fun day at Mecum because we were doing all kinds of videos for them promoting the sale of that car because of what good it will do with the organization. I got to go up and swing the gamble for the sale of a car and everything. It was really fun.
Sold $54,000 here again. Sold $54,000 to the internet.
Huge thanks to Kendall for that opportunity. Let's get some more oil in her. I did so great not spilling any oil on the concrete during the removal of the old oil and the oil filter, and then I go try to be fancy pouring the oil in it and leak it all down the header, of course. Of course. Oh, looks like we're at the very bottom. One more quart and she'll be golden. Yepper. And you guys can't see the fill neck now, so you don't know if I'm spilling it or not. You just have to take my word for it. Spilled a little bit. Oh, putting that oil cap back on, y'all. Gosh, spark plugs are done. Fresh oil, fresh filter. The oil plug is back in. I think we're close to some kind of action. All right, let's see if she pops off. Maybe run a little better with fresh plugs.
All right. Sounds like she's ready.
Think we should go take her for a spin?
Yep.
Well, it's time for this car to see the light of day for the first time in a couple of years. That just ain't right. I can't believe it's been that long. P.S. We did check the car for coolant, and it has plenty in it. I know exactly what happened. We took it apart to do a CRC brake clean video. The car wasn't running at the time, so I guess we didn't put it back. I didn't put it back. I probably went straight to editing, and that's my fault. Yeah. Please tell me that the bolts are still there, that I just finger tightened them.
One of them's finger tight, the other one's gone.
Shoot. I wonder if it fell out. Wouldn't make sense that I would just finger tighten one of them. I failed us. This is me walking the street looking to see if I can find that bolt that might have fallen off. We didn't find it. Either it fell off in the grass to the drive to the shop and we can't see it, or I just didn't put it in the back of the caliper at all and it ended up in a bolt bin or something. Either way, I failed. I guess we're running to the hardware store. Hey babe, but did you die?
Nope.
We're good.
Now we need one of these. Oh, two of them, because this one's kind of damaged.
Alrighty. Bolts acquired.
We got them. They look like they're a little bit better quality,
yes, they
too.
do. They look really nice. Alright, that should be
Cool.
good.
Let me get a wrench and see if that's actually going in. It's kind of tight.
Ooh.
I think it's probably the coating on the bolt.
It could also be the first few threads messed up.
I'll try the bottom one. That's what it is.
You had to take your hat off. It got serious.
I know. How's my hair?
It's actually not bad. I mean, it's kind of a mess, but. Shout out to Josh. Love you, bro. Time to tighten these down. Hopefully I didn't leave any other bolts loose on this here rig.
Hopefully I didn't. I pulled that transmission out at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
She sounds cool.
She does.
Probably need to get some gas. This gas is like 2 years old.
True.
Shifter's so different from your car.
It is.
Long growth. Car's always driven so good.
A little hesitation. She pulls hard though.
Yeah.
Sweet girl. Guess who's going back on the lift? This one. We have been driving her around, and while she's running pretty good, randomly dying, randomly bogging, but generally pretty good, she has got a clunk in the rear end that is bugging us. We just pulled it in last night to the shop, and we were kind of feeling around on the half shafts, and we believe them to be loose. So we are going to put her on the lift and see if we can tighten those suckers down. Then maybe we can go drive it a little harder because we don't want to break stuff. So we believe that we are going to need to remove this section of the,
It's a microphone.
yes. We're going to remove this section of the half shaft because we tried to tighten these here nuts and they are just spinning. So we're like, crap, that's true. There's a bolt inside here. So we are going to remove this series of bolts live. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully we can tighten those nuts and then we'll be good to go. Over to you, Bob. That's actually funny because your name's Bob. Aaron's legal name is Robert Aaron. So you can call him Bob. Over to you, Bob.
Oh, it was tight. That one was loose.
So some of these have been loose, some of them have been tight.
Yeah. I've had a very hard time keeping this stuff tight. I don't know if we have a vibration or what.
So this is the original R200 out of the car.
Yeah.
And we were just discussing how loud it is when we're cruising around in the car. And we're like, I know that rear ends are loud, can be loud, and this whole solid mount thing can make it louder.
Yeah, and all the bushings, these are all, you know, those harder bushings. They're not rubber anymore. So that makes it louder, but we think there's something broken inside. So we're gonna drain it and see if there's any parts in there.
It'll be interesting to drain the fluid and see if there's any metal or chunks. I
found those bolts we were talking about.
And there you go. Those mofos have loosened up.
Yep. Looks like we did have Loctite on it. So you can see right there where it's been getting moved around in there.
Is that bent?
Need to wire brush it. I think it's just Loctite. Oh, it is bent out on the end. Those are grade 8 bolts.
Weird. All them torques. So if you aren't familiar with this build, it's just a junkyard 5.3. It put 370, 365 to the back tire, horsepower, around 360 torque. And so it's not a crazy big power build, but the factory rear end, they're not known for holding a whole bunch of power. I mean, some people do, but most people do 8.8 swaps because the 8.8 is just as good as the 9-inch, a lot of people say, but it's the IRS setup instead of the straight axle. So eventually that's probably what we'll do on this car. But for now, let's see if we have any damage here. Transmission jack turned thingy to drain oil in holder. Yeah, I don't know what the technical name for those are, but someday we'll have really nice ones, I bet.
Yep, someday.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Move your bucket out of the way until you get it.
Yeah.
You were probably about to come to that conclusion.
I was.
You know, something you do that scares me.
Tell me.
Were you?
Hitting things with my hand?
No, you close fist breakover bars.
I could crunch my fingers?
Yeah.
Oh, were you missing this?
Yeah, it was. Nice.
Cool.
When I'm doing something like that,
Open hand, that way if you slip.
I'll hold it here and I'll push with the palm and I'll make sure my fingers aren't around it.
Because you could slip and be like, boom.
I've slipped and like I've damaged all of my knuckles.
I must preserve my beautiful hands.
Yeah.
After all. Oh, I have my rings on. That's a no-no too. Cool. Today on In the Shop with Emily, what not to do. Ooh.
Looks like glitter.
Yeah, and there's some chunks here.
Well, I knew it was strange when on Power Tour, I did a clutch drop that locked up both back tires. Because it should have been a one-wheel wonder.
Yeah.
That explains the noise we're hearing.
You're like, I want to be proud, but something ain't right. It's thick with metal.
Yeah, I see a piece of brass back there on one of the teeth. It came from a bushing or something.
What we're currently thinking is, since it's not totally trashed, we can still drive the car a little bit. We're gonna clean the inside of the diff, clean as much as we can, and put some fresh fluid in it and tighten the bolts on the half shafts and just let her be mobile still, instead of leaving her broken on the lift, because we've got other stuff we want to be doing. And then that'll give us plenty of time to get new parts in and try to figure out if we want to rebuild this R200, find a rebuilt one, or go as far as doing the 8.8 swap. One of the things that we think about with the 8.8 swap is we think that it's 5 lug and our wheels are 4 lug. We'd have to cross that bridge. I don't know what we'd want to do there. I'm going to use CRC's Pro Series parts cleaner and degreaser. It's such good stuff. Coming out pretty clean. All right, good deal. time to take the bolts out on the passenger side axle. Watch that drip on me, even though, thank you, even though it's not drip for a while.
I'm gonna go get my dog.
You miss your dog?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Buddy! Oh, buddy! I'm going to put some paint on there so we can, at a glance, quickly see if they've backed off on us. We did this on Roxy's axles and it's a really nice thing. Alrighty, Erin has cleaned up and Loctited all of my bolts that hold the outside of that shaft in, so on to installing those back. Okie dokie then. I'm counting that good. It's time to put some fluid back in that diff. Zen has her rear end grease back in her, and we moved Roxy in so that she isn't out in the weather. We have to figure out what we want to do with this rear end. I'm looking forward to reading the comments on this and seeing what you guys would do if the project was your own. For this episode, I really wanted to end it with burnout, but unfortunately that would probably mean carnage. And to further create carnage within that rear end is probably not the best. I don't know. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing her back on the road as much as we did. This car means so much to us, and to have her running again is awesome. Even though there's always hurdles to jump over with projects, we still wouldn't change it. We appreciate you guys watching so much. Every like, comment, and subscription counts. We hope all of you are happy and healthy, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.